In this course, we're gonna talk about the Kamatera cloud services. They are providing the cloud services at a reasonable price, similar to what the Amazon AWS as well as the Microsoft Azure are doing. So let me show you what you can do using the Kamatera cloud services. So you can create a free VPN provided by the Kamatera server using the $100 credit when you sign up. So when you sign up, they will give you $100 credits. Using that, you can create a free VPN and you can also create the Windows RDP for free. Here, you can see that I have connected to the Windows RDP and the internet speed in this RDP goes up to the 4.2 gigabytes, and you can also create a Linux RDP similar to how you can create a Windows RDP, and you can also install a WordPress here for free, and you can also deploy a website to Linux and you can access it from the outside world. So yeah, these are the services that you can access by using the Kamatera services. And when you go to the website, this is the Kamatera website. You can see that enterprise level cloud infrastructure, and if you look at the features of the Kamatera services, they will providing a unlimited scaling. That means you can start with a small server, and once you got a huge traffic, you can scale up and as you grow. And they will also provide a flexible pricing similar to the Amazon AWS as well as the Microsoft Azure. And the cool thing about the Kamatera services is that they are providing a 24/7 support. You can either directly reach it through the email or you can directly contact them by the chat. So these are the features of the Kamatera cloud services, and they have data centers all around the world. They have 24 data centers around the world. You can see that they have the data centers mostly in US, Europe, Singapore, Australia. You can see that we have the data centers all around the world. So I will provide the link of these Kamatera cloud services in the description. So when you click on the link, it will redirect to this website. So here you can see that they will provide a 30-day free trial. So make sure you check up the link in the description. Then only you will get 30-day free trial. Consider with the help of the 30-day free trial, they will give you $100 worth of cloud services. So with the $100 of cloud services, you have your option to create a free VPS, Windows RDP, Linux RDP, and they will also provide a 1 TB of cloud storage. And using the 30-day free trial, they will give you full access to all the features. And cool thing is 24/7 technical support. So let me show you how to get the $100 credits. So I will provide the link of this website in the description. So make sure you sign up from there. So you have to create an account on that. So make sure you type your email address as well as the password. So let me type my email address and the password and click on this create free account. So once you create a free account, they will credit you with $100. So for this, you have to submit a credit card. So they won't charge anything. So they just collect the credit card information for identity verification. They won't charge anything until the free trial. You can see that we have to verify our email address. So let me open up my Gmail now. You can see that we got a mail from Kamatera Cloud Services. Let me open that up and let me click on this here. The email has been verified successful. We have to provide our credit card info here. So don't worry, they won't charge anything while you are on the free trial. So click on add billing profile. We have to add our billing profile. Let me type my name as well as the address. So once you have filled the account information, click on next. It will redirect to add the credit card information. So make sure you fill your credit card info here. So I will pause this and continue after I have typed my credit card information. After you have logged into the Kamatera dashboard, it will look like this, where it will display the billing overview. So don't worry about the billing overview because they give you the $100 credits when you sign up for the first time. You can see that it says the monthly charges as well as the hourly charges, and on the right hand side it will show you the number of servers and CPUs running, and below that they give you the servers detail. So first let us see how to create the free VPS on this Kamatera dashboard. So we're gonna see how to do this without any charges because they give you the $100 as a credit. We can use that to create the free VPS. So to do that, you have your option called the My Cloud on the left hand side. So just expand that, and below that we have the option called the servers. And we also have other options. So we're gonna deal with that later. First, we're gonna see how to create the free VPS on this Kamatera dashboard. So just click on this pricing if you want to see the pricing for how you create the servers. It will be display on when you configure. So we're gonna deal with this later. So just click on the servers. Here it will display all the servers that you have created earlier. When you log in for the first time, you don't have any servers. I have already created 4 servers. That's why it says the number of servers equal to 4. And we're gonna create a new VPS now. So just click on this create new server, and here you have to select the also just give you a few minutes. It is loading now. You have to select this zone. So make sure you select the zone nearer to your location. You can select the Australia, North America, Europe, and Middle East. The Kamatera servers are located across all the countries. So make sure you select the location that is nearer to you. I'm gonna select the Singapore now. You can select the Australia, North America. So let me stick to the Singapore. Then you have to select the server OS. What OS do you want for your VPS? And I'm gonna choose the Linux now. That is the Ubuntu. So if you want to choose the Windows VPS, you can also do that. But I'm gonna choose with the uh, Linux. And you can also create the RDP from this server also. On the right hand side, you have your option called the desktop OS. So using the desktop OS, you can create the RDP, and we also have the apps. So using the apps, you can create the cPanel, and you can also create the lots of options there, CyberPanel, Django, and WordPress. So we're gonna deal with this later. So for now, we're gonna see the how to create the free VPS now. So for that, we're gonna stick with the server OS. So just click on the server OS images, and we're gonna stick with the Ubuntu. So if you select the Windows, you can select the version. So you can select the latest versions are available out there 2025. But we're gonna stick with the Ubuntu now. So I'm gonna choose the this latest version 64-bit. So let me choose that. Once you choose that, you consider Ubuntu server version 24 and LTS long-term support. Then we have to choose the server specs. In this case, we have 4 different types. That is the general, or you can have a dedicated server also, or boostable availability. So make sure you choose according to your needs. So in this video, I'm gonna choose the general server only. So availability, you can choose based on your needs. Then you have to select the number of CPUs that you want for your VPS. In this case, I'm gonna choose the lower number of CPUs because this is just a demo, right? I don't want to use heavy CPUs. And then we have to choose the RAM. In this case, I'm gonna choose the 2 GB RAM and SSD disk. Here we can select the number of storage that you want for your VPS. I'm gonna choose 20 GB now, and that's it. If you want to enable the daily backup, you can enable these options, but I don't want to do that. So below that, you have an option called the seeing the price that you enable the features. Currently, it says $20 per month, but when you turn off the daily backup, it is $25 per month. So I'm gonna turn off the daily backup, and below that, make sure you leave the public internet network as well as the private network as default. So we don't wanna do anything here. And below that, you have to create the password for your VPS. In this case, just give you a password they mentioned here. So I'm gonna type my password now. Let's also validate our password, and just type the same password that you have typed above field. And once you have typed the password, we have to give the name for our server. Consider, just give you a name for your server. In this case, I'm gonna type my channel name as a server name. So you consider the server name is now available. Finally, after you have created everything, you consider you will be charged $25 per month. If you click on hourly cycle, it will be $0.03 per hour. So once you have selected everything, just click on this create server button. So it will create the server for you, that is the free VPUs. Consider currently it is processing. Now the server has been added to the task queue. So if you load up the task queue now, you'll be seeing at the below now. You consider our server is created at, and it is 70% completed. So we'll have to wait for the status to be 100% completed. Then only our VPS will be active. Consider 70% completed. So just give you a few minutes, it will be loaded successfully. Then we can good to go. Now it is at the 97%. So you can see the logs here. You consider the IP address as well as the setting ownership. So just give you a few minutes now. Now the server has been created successfully. Considered programming with accommodation, and the number of CPUs that we use is the 2 cores, and the storage that we have specified is the 20 GB storage and 2 GB RAM. So just click on this open button now, and the right hand side you have the option called the open button. Click on that, you can see we have your overview. The storage is the Linux, and if you click on this info, here you will see the all the infos now. And if you want to connect with it, just click on this connect tab. You consider the username is root and the password is that we specified, and we can just SSH into the VPS now. You consider connection type is SSH. So to connect with the SSH, just open your command prompt. If you want to see the firewall, currently the firewall is disabled. So you consider. So just click on this connect. We don't want to do that. So I'm gonna open up the command prompt now. So we're gonna SSH into the VPS that we have created now. And so SSH and the username is root at, and we have to provide the IP address now. So let me minimize this. To get the IP address, go to overview and just copy this internet public IP. So copy this now, public internet IP, and paste it the IP address now. And paste it here and press enter. It will ask you to enter the password now. So just type your password. The password will be invisible, so you have to type the password correctly. So once you type the password and press enter, you consider now we successfully SSH into our free VPS that we have created. Root that programming with Kumaresan. So let me clear the screen now. And here you can do anything that you normally do on any machine. So when I type who am I, consider I am the root user. And so if you want to see the free folders, you consider it is 16 GB of storage. We have created the 20 GB and 4 GB is for the server files. And we have the free storage 16 GB. And if you want to update this apt update command, this will update all the package list. And you can also upgrade now apt upgrade command. And press Y now to install the upgrades. Now all the package has been updated and upgraded successfully. Let me clear the screen, and here we can install literally anything. So if you want to install a Python, apt install Python. So Python is already available. We have to type the Python 3. Consider we got the, so let me type Python 3. Here you can see we got the Python interpreter. Here let me print a hello world now. So print of hello world. So it displays the hello world. Let me exit this Python interpreter, and we can also install the Docker now. So I'm gonna show you how to install the Docker and install the N8N on this free VPS. Now to install the Docker on this VPS, just type the apt install docker.io. This will install the Docker on this free VPS. You consider it starts installing the Docker images on this VPS. Just give you a few minutes. It will take some time to install. So once it is installed, then we can start pulling a Docker image and run it locally. Or for the image, we're gonna use the N8N image. So when you access the N8N image on the cloud, you'll have to subscribe to the premium plan. That is, you can choose the starter plan or the pro plan to access all the paid features. But when you install it for the locally, you can access all the paid features for free. So we're gonna see how to do that. We're gonna pull the N8N image and then we're gonna install it locally. First, we have to enable the Docker. So system control enable Docker. So this will enable the Docker on this VPS. Once it is enabled, if you type Docker, if you see any output similar to this, that means the Docker has been installed successful. So let me clear the screen now. And if you type Docker images, currently we don't have any Docker images. And if I type Docker ps-a, and we also don't have any containers. I'm gonna pull the N8N image from the Docker hub and show you how to run the server locally. So for this, in the search bar, just type N8N Docker image. So just click on the first result, N8N Docker image, and this is the Docker image for the N8N. It is downloaded for 100 million types, and consider this is the Docker page for the N8N. And if you scroll down, they give you a commands to start the N8N server in Docker, but we will deal with this later. And if you scroll down, they give you a commands to pull the Docker version. So let me copy this command now. So we have to pull the Docker image from this Docker app. So let me press Ctrl+V. So I think the copy and paste is disabled from the Windows to this VPS since we have connected remotely. So we'll have to type it manually. So let me try this one more time. So the copy and paste is disabled from our Windows machine to this VPS. I'll have to type manually docker pull docker.n8n.io /n8n.io/n8n. Press enter. This will pull the Docker image from this Docker hub. You consider it starts downloading the N8N image now. So just give you a few minutes. Consider the internet speed of this VPS is also pretty good. Currently it is extracting the Docker image now. Once it is extracted, we can good to go. Just give you a few minutes now. Now we have successfully pulled the N8N image from the Docker app. And if we type Docker images, here you can see we have the N8N image here. So we'll have to run this N8N server, and the size of this is the 710 MB. Let me clear the screen and type Docker images. So to run this command, and if you scroll up, consider they give you a commands to start the N8N server in Docker. First we have to create the Docker volume. So Docker volume create N8N data. Now the value must be created successful, and let me minimize this. So we'll have to type this commands to start the N8N server from the Docker. So Docker run, and we're gonna run it in a interactive mode. And once it is stop, we have to remove that. So -f aram, and we're gonna map the port 5678 and 5678, and the value that we have created is the -v N8N underscore data, N8N underscore data, and we're gonna map it with the folders now. So the folder will be inside the N8N image, or /home/node/.n8n. So let me pull this. So this is the value that we have used, and finally we have to start this Docker image. So we'll have to type the Docker image name now. Since the Docker image name is huge, so we'll have to type it manually. The copy and paste image is disabled from the Windows machine to this VPS, and press enter. You consider it will start the N8N server now. Consider it starts initializing the N8N process, and we got the URL now, and it is running local host. You consider, but since it is local host, we can access outside the world. And when you open a new tab and type this localhost 5678, you can see that we can't able to access it because it is available only to the VPS. So if you want to access it from the outside world, we'll have to use the IP address. Let me click on this open button, and we're gonna copy this IP address now. So instead of localhost, and we're gonna use this IP address, and the port number is the 5678. Consider now we got the title N8N workflow automation. Let's see if we got the website as well. So we get the error like your N8N server is configured to use a secure cookie. So we will only use the HTTPS. So if you want to disable this, set the environment variable to false. So we'll have to set this N8N secure cookie environment variable to false, so that we can disable this. So let me stop the N8N server. So we'll have to use the environment variable now. So inside this Docker running command, we'll have to use the environment variable. So -e, this is the argument for environment variable. So we're gonna disable the secure cookie now. So secure cookie equal to false. So let me check the name now. So N8N secure cookie. So let's change this to N8N secure cookie. So N8N underscore secure cookie. So we're gonna disable this false now. So equal to false. So that's it. And when you press enter, now it don't use the secure cookie, and we can access it outside the world now. So let me go to the browser one more time, and let's try to refresh the page to see if we can able to access the N8N website. And you can see that now we got the N8N setup account now. So we'll have to enter this handful data now, and we are accessing with N8N from the VPS that we have created. So let me fill this data. Let me type this password, and finally I'm gonna click on this next. Now it will move on to this page now. So let me select this info randomly. This video is specifically how to install the N8N locally, not showing you how to get the N8N workflow. So make sure. So if you want to get the paid features for free, just click on this send me a free license key. So it will email the license key to your email address. Consider your license key is on the way. You can just copy and paste the license key to this usage and plan website. You consider all the paid features are now free. So if you click on this enter activation key, just copy and paste the activation key to get the all the paid features for free. So yeah, this is it. This is how you install the N8N server locally using the Docker from the Kamatera VPS. This video is about the installation of the N8N, and let me go to the home page, and you can start creating the workflows now. So let me start the N8N server, and let us see how to create the Windows RDP now. I have stopped the N8N server, right? And when you try to access the website, so let me go to the browser, and when I click on this refresh button, we can't able to access it because we have stopped the N8N server from the VPS. So let me post these two websites, and from the VPS, if you want to access this, just type exit. Now you consider connection to the VPS is now log out. And if you go to the dashboard, currently consider it says billing overview. If you want to add more modules, just click on this add module and we can select the server overview and we can select our server that we have created. You consider, let me select my server and it will give the overview to our server. You consider power state is on and number of CPUs we have used the 2 core CPU and the memory size is 2 GB and the storage that we have is 20 GB. So this is how you add a new module to the dashboard to see all the overviews. And let's say how to create the Windows RDP now. To select that, just click on create new desktop. So from the desktop, we can create a RDP. Consider currently it is loading, just give you a few minutes. So similar to what we have done to the VPS, we also have to select this zone. So make sure you select the zone nearer to you. So I'm gonna select the Singapore here also, and in this case, if you want to use the Windows RDP, select the Windows and the version is Windows 10. Consider the price for the Windows 10 is the $10 per month, and we can select the server specs and the type is I'm gonna choose the general type now. If you want a dedicated server, you can choose the dedicated server, and the number of CPU is 6 CPU in this case. We can select the depending on your needs. I'm gonna choose the 4 CPU and the RAM is 4 GB and the SSD disk is 50 GB, and you consider the price of this RDP is $70 per month. And if you want to enable the daily backup, you can enable, or if you want to add additional SSD, you can also do that. So I'm gonna leave with that as well. So just type your password now. In this case, let me take my password. Let's also type the password one more to confirm it. You consider the monthly billing cycle is $70 per month, and let me enter the server name now. In this case, I'm gonna type Kumaresan Windows RDP. So that's it. The server name is now available, and consider it is charged $70 per month, and just click on create server and see that it is now added to the task queue. And if you click on this task queue now, you consider our server is it started now, and you can see the logs here. Now the Windows server has been created successful. You consider here we have the Windows RDP server that we have created now. Here you can see this is our configuration. We have choose the 4 core CPU and we have selected the 4 GB RAM and the storage is 50 GB. And just click on this actions. If you want to turn that off, you can do that, but deal with that later. For now, just click on this open button. Here we're gonna click on this connect button. So consider the connection type is remote desktop and the username is administrator. So connect it remotely. We're gonna use the Windows or built-in remote desktop. So in the Windows we have a remote desktop only MSTSC. So just go to the overview to copy the IP address. Let me copy this IP address because we need this IP address to copy this remotely. You can use the external remote desktop connector. For example, you can use the PuTTY for Windows 11. You can download this PuTTY to a free SSH client for the Windows, but we're gonna use the Windows default remote desktop. Just type MSTSC in the command prompt. You consider now we got the remote desktop connection. Here we have to copy and paste the IP address now. Let me copy this IP address and paste the IP address here and click on this connect button. It will ask you to enter the username as well as the password, and the username is administrator and the password will be the one that you said when creating the server. So let me go to the connect now. So let me copy this administrator username. Let me copy this and I'm gonna put it remote desktop and paste it here, and for the password just type the password that we have set earlier. And once you have typed the password, just click on this connect button to connect it to the Windows RDP. Consider it is asking, so just give yes. Now we have successfully connected to the Windows RDP using the Kamatera servers now. Here consider we got the Windows RDP. So let me click on this yes to allow the networks. You consider we have the internet access as well. And let me open up the edge. So let me set up the edge now. First let's test the internet connection now. So internet speed it is, and let me start this speed test now. So we're gonna test the internet speed of this Kamatera RDP. You consider we have the 4 GB of internet speed, this is your download speed, and we also gonna test the upload speed as well. Consider we have the 4.2 gigabytes of the download speed and we have the 2 gigabytes of the upload speed. So while that is loading, if you click on the start button, consider we don't have anything other than the normal Windows software. If you go to this PC, consider we have the 50 GB of free storage and we also have a C drive. Currently we don't have anything on this RDP, so let me try to download the software now. For example, I'm gonna download the Python now. So Python download. So I'm gonna download this Python server and install it onto this Windows RDP. Consider it starts downloading now. And let me click on this open file to install this and click on this run button. So make sure you add the button here, add Python to part, and then click on install now. Now the setup is in progress, just give you a few minutes. Now the Python has been installed successful. Let me close this. So to access the Python ideally, let me go to the command prompt and type Python. So if you get the Python interpreter like this, that means the Python has been installed successful. So if you want to access the ideally, just click on the start button. Here you can see we have the Python, right? Let me expand it and we have the ideally. Let me open that up. So yeah, this is how you create a Windows RDP using the Kamatera servers and how to install the server on this. Now we have seen the how to create the Windows RDP, right? Next, we're gonna see how to install the WordPress locally on the RDP, and we're gonna create a website on that, and we're gonna access it from the outside the world. So we're gonna access the website created in the Windows RDP, and we're gonna access it outside the world, like we can access it from the mobile phone itself. So let's do that now. For that, we have to install a software called the XAMPP server. So the XAMPP server will provide the Apache server as well as the database for us. So using that, we can install a WordPress locally. So just type XAMPP and let me download this XAMPP server. And we can install a WordPress in two ways. Either we can install a WordPress locally in the Windows RDP, or we can create a WordPress images from the Kamatera dashboard. Let me go to the Kamatera dashboard now and let me log in. Here, I won't recommend this method because when you install the WordPress locally, you get to know what are the integrity of the details. But when you create the WordPress images directly, you won't see that. So let me go to the servers. So here, create new app. So just click on this create new app. Here, using the new app, you can create the WordPress images directly. So just give you a few minutes, it is loading on. And if you scroll down, so I won't recommend this way, but know that this method is also exists. You can see that here we have lots of apps, and one of the apps is the WordPress. You can select the WordPress app and you can just create the WordPress app now. And consider you can choose the WordPress version. But I'm gonna stick with this version, that is installing the WordPress locally to the Windows RDP, so that you get to know what to do to install the WordPress locally. So let me download this XAMPP server now. So just click on this download button to download the XAMPP server. So here click on download latest version. Consider now the XAMPP server starts downloading for Windows. Just give you a few minutes. Once it is downloaded, we can install it. Now the XAMPP server has been downloaded successful. Let me open that up. And we're gonna install this XAMPP server on our Windows RDP. So we got your warnings here. So let me click on OK now. So this is just a warning, we can ignore it. So just click on next and we can also click on next. So just click next, and finally we can install the XAMPP server. Consider it is installing the XAMPP server now. Just give you a few minutes. Once the XAMPP server is downloaded, we can install a WordPress locally. You consider now the XAMPP server has been downloaded successful. Just click on finish. So let me minimize this. You consider this is the control panel of the XAMPP server. We're gonna start the Apache server as well as we're gonna start the MySQL server. Now the both the server has been started successful. And if you go to this PC now, so let me go to this PC and select the C drive, and here you can see we have the XAMPP folder. So inside the XAMPP folder, we have a folder called the htdocs. So let me scroll up. Let me find the htdocs folder. Consider here we have the folder called the htdocs folder. Here we have to put the WordPress here. So let me go to the edge to download the WordPress and put the WordPress folder here. So just type wordpress.org. Just head over to this website and click on Get WordPress and download WordPress now. Now the WordPress has been downloaded successfully. What we have to do is that we have to extract the zip file to that docs folder. So now the WordPress has been downloaded successful. Let me click on this file icon and let me cut this. So let me go to the C drive, and inside this we have the XAMPP, and inside the XAMPP we have the docs. So here we have the docs. Let me open that up. Let me paste it here. Let's also extract the zip file now. Let me right click and click on extract here. Now the file has been extracted successful. Here we have the WordPress folder. Inside this we have all the files. So if you want to rename this, you can rename now. So let me type my WordPress. Now we got the WordPress, right? We have to create a database for that. So for that, let me open the XAMPP control panel. So have to go to the MySQL admin to create a database for this WordPress. So just click on this admin now. So it is opening on the old version of the yours. So let me copy this URL because it is open in the Internet Explorer. So let me go to the edge and paste the URL now and press enter. So this is the my PHP admin now. Here we have to create the database. So just click on databases, or you can create a new button and give you a name for your database. In this case, I'm gonna type my WordPress admin database and click on create now. Now the database has been created successful, right? So what we can do is we can open a new tab now. So let me open up a new tab and just type localhost / under folder name that we have renamed. Here we have to type the folder name that we have renamed. Let me open the file explorer. Consider this is the folder that we have extracted, right? So my WordPress, we have to type the folder name. So my WordPress and press enter. This will go to the WordPress installation page. By default, it will ask you to select the language now. It is selected as English as default, and I'm gonna leave that as default. Okay, so just click on continue now and consider welcome to WordPress. Before getting started, you have to set up the database. So just click on this let's go, and for the database name, so just give you a database that you have created earlier on the my PHP, and the username is root. So this is the username. This is the default username, and the password is empty for the default my PHP admin. So you have created a database as a default, right? You don't have to type anything here on the password field. You can leave that as default. And finally, just click on submit button. Now the database has been connected successful. You can click on run the installation. So just click on this run the installation. Here you have to give a few configurations, right? So first let's type our site title. The site title will be, so let me type my channel name as a site title, programming with Kumaran, and the username is admin, and the password is I'm gonna type as admin. So confirm use weak password. This is not recommended, but for the tutorial only I have typed the weak password and enter your email address. And finally you can click on install WordPress. This will install the WordPress locally on your system. You consider now the WordPress has been installed successful for the username admin and the password that we have chosen, and we can log back out. So just click on this login button and click on remember me and select the login. So this is the WordPress admin. So this will be similar to how the WordPress online will be look like. Consider this the WordPress admin panel, and it is running on the local host. So if you want to visit the site, just click on programming with Kumaran. So let me click on here and click on visit site. Consider this is a sample website now. If you want to edit this, you can edit site. So let me show you how to change this. For now, let me go to the admin, and if you click on pages, you can edit a page now. Currently we have a sample page here. What we can do is just click on edit button. This tutorial is not focusing on how to edit a WordPress site. This tutorial is only for how to install a WordPress locally. So I'm not gonna do anything much here. So just I'm gonna enter some things randomly and click on the save button. So everything is same here, how you access it from the WordPress website. And the only thing differ is you have installed it totally and just click on the save button now. So if you want to view this page, just click on this view page. You consider this the page, right? And we go to the home site now. Here in the home site, we have a option called is view sample page. So let me go to the WordPress admin now. If you want to change the WordPress theme, let me show you how to do that. So just click on this appearance. Here we have the plugins. Let me go to the install plugins, or first let's change the appearance now. Click on appearance and click on theme. So I'm gonna change the theme to, let me click this theme and click on activate. Now the theme has been changed successful. And finally, when you visit the site, consider here it is a mind blow, a blog about philosophy. Now we have access the local force only. Let us see how to access it from the outside world. So let me minimize this RDP. I'm gonna access it from the my Windows now. So to access it outside the world, here you can see here we have the Windows RDP, right? We have to copy its IP address and we have to paste the IP address here, and the WordPress site is my WordPress. So when you try to access the WordPress, it will not be visited because we are not updated the firewall settings. So consider the site is not reachable. We have to update the firewall settings. So for that, in the search bar, just type firewalls and open this Windows firewalls with advanced security. Just open this and we have to create a new inbound rule. So the inbound rules and click on new rule and select the port number. So we have to allow all the four local ports, or we can allow a specific port. So we're gonna allow the port number 80 and 443 for the HTTP request. And click on next, and we have to allow the connection and click on next, and give your name for your rule now. So HTTP request and finally click on finish. Now when you minimize this RDP and try to access the website, let me click on the refresh now. You consider now we have successfully accessed the WordPress site that we have installed locally on the Windows RTP from outside the world. You consider we have accessed it from the outside the world. So this is how you install the WordPress locally in Windows RTP provided by the Kamatera servers. Now we have seen how to create the Windows RDP, right? And we have installed the WordPress locally and access the website outside from the RDP. Here you can see we have the website. And if you want to exit the Windows RDP, just click on this exit button. You consider your remote session will be disconnected and click on OK. Now our RDP has been disconnected, but when you access the website, consider it is still accessible because we have only disconnected the remote session only. But when you go to the Kamatera console, let me log in now. When you go to the dashboard now, so let me go to the servers now. So just click on my cloud and click on servers. Here you can see still our Windows RDP is running. When you click on actions, you can see that still our Windows RDP is running. So either we have to turn up or we have suspend, we can reboot and we can rename. We have all other options here. First, we're gonna turn off. So we have to power off this. You consider power off. We'll do a force power off of the server. So this is what we want, right? When we power off, so let me click on this power off now. And it will be added to the task queue. Consider power off is added to the task queue. Let me open up the task queue. It is pending, just give you a few minutes. Now it is successful. Consider now the status is success. And here when you access the website again, it will not be accessible because we have turned off the Windows RDP. Earlier we have only disconnected the remote desktop. Now we have turned off the server itself. And now when you access the website, it will not be accessible. Consider can't reach this page. So this is here. This is how you turn off your Windows RDP. And let us say how to create a Linux RDP. Earlier we have seen the Windows RDP, right? Now let me show you how to create the Linux RDP on this Kamatera server. So let me go to the Kamatera console, and to create the Linux RDP, again we have to follow the same procedure as Windows RDP. Just click on my cloud and click on servers. You consider we have 10 of the Windows RDP, right? You consider we have 10 of the Windows RDP. Just click on create new desktop. But now in this case, instead of choosing the Windows, we're gonna choose the Linux. So let me select the zone now. I'm gonna choose the Singapore, and for the desktop OS, I'm gonna choose the Ubuntu. and let me select the version. I'm gonna select the latest version, and I'm gonna select the type general, and for the CPU I'm gonna select 12, and for the RAM I'm gonna select 8 GB RAM. And for the networking I'm gonna leave that as default, and let me type the password now. Let's also type the password again to confirm this. So we got the error. Let me type this one more time. So let me validate this password now. Just give you a name for your server now. In this case, I'm gonna type Kamatera RDP. That is the Linux RDP. Now the server name is available, and finally you consider the billing is $209 per month, and we can create server now. Consider the server has been added to the task queue. Let me open up the task queue now. It is located at the bottom. Here you can see our Linux RDP is in or running, and you can see the logs here. So just give a few minutes. Once it is enabled, we can good to go. Now our Linux RDP has been created successful. Let me close this now. Here you can see here we have the Linux RDP, and let me click on this, and you can see that it is opening up now. And when you click on this connect button, you can see that the username is root. Here just click on open remote control. It will open up the RDP in the new tab. You consider it is opening up the RDP here. This will be Linux RDP. Here you can see it is connecting now. Now successfully we connected to the Linux RDP. This is the Linux RDP. We have to enter the username now. Let me type the username as root. So username root, and the password will be the one that we have set now. So let me enter up the password that I have set. So we got a warnings, right? So we can safely ignore this warning and click on OK. Now we successfully connected to the Linux RDP provided by the Kamatera servers, and here we got the Linux RDP. And on the sidebar we have a few different options. The first one is the enable the full screen, and we have enable the full screen now. And the second one is we have some settings. We have the clipboard, and we have show extra keys. And let me open up the Firefox out. First I'm gonna test the internet speed of this RDP now. After I check the internet speed, then I'm going to show you how to host your website in Linux RDP and access it from the outside world. So first let's check the internet speed of this RDP, and finally I'm going to show you how to host your website inside this RDP and access it from the outside world. Basically we are deploying a website now. Consider we got a internet speed of 700 megabytes, and for the upload speed we got 500 megabytes. So if you want to disconnect, we have the option, and we also have the settings, and we can change the clipboard to remote staging, and we have advanced settings as well. So don't want to change anything. So to deploy our website from this Linux RDP, we don't need the remote desktop. We can safely close this. We just SSH into the RDP and gonna deploy the website there. So for that we have to copy the IP address now. So we're gonna SSH into this RDP now. So for this you can either use the putty that I have mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video. You can download this, or we can directly SSH into that RDP. So let me directly SSH into that RDP now. So let me copy the IP address now to SSH into the Linux RDP. Let me copy this IP address, and let me open up the command prompt, and we're gonna use the SSH, and the username is root at, and we're gonna paste the IP address. So it will ask you to enter the password now. So make sure you type the password. So let me type the password. So the password will be invisible, so you'll have to type the password correctly and press enter. You consider now I have successfully SSH into the free VPS. Let me clear the screen. So to host a website on Linux, and we're gonna to access it from the outside world, we have to install a server called the Apache server. So using the Apache server, we can host a website and we can access it from the outside world. So we'll have to install that. Before that, make sure we update all the apt commands. So apt update. So we're gonna update all the library now. So apt update. So this will update all the library list for us. Once it is updated, we can upgrade now. Now we got updated successfully. Let me try to update them. So let me try to upgrade all the packages. So apt upgrade and press enter. Now all the packages has been upgraded, and now finally we can install the Apache now. So apt install Apache. Using the Apache server, we're gonna post the website. So apt install Apache 2 and press enter. Consider now the library has been installed successful. Consider Apache is already the new version. Let me clear the screen. And the Apache server is located at the, so let me cd /var/www/html. So the Apache server is located at the following folders now. So cd/var/www and press enter. And if you use the ls command, that is the list command, you consider here we have a folder called the html folder. So let me jump into that folder now. So inside this folder, we have a file called the index.html file. This is a default base for the Apache server. When you visit the server, it will display a static page only. So here we're gonna put our website files here in this folder. Then only we can able to post our website files to the outside world. That's the HTML file, right? But if you look at the permissions of this file, you consider the HTML file is not read and executable for the RDP. Consider there is no X here. The X means executable. The RDP can only read a file and it can only write a file, but there is no execution. So we will have to change the permission now. To change the permissions, just type chown, that is the change ownership -r, capital R. So we're gonna change the ownership now. So www-data :www-data, and we're gonna change this to the all the folders now inside the -var-ww-html. Now we have changed the ownership, right? We have to change the mode also. So change mode, that is chmod -r, and we're gonna change this on the, so we'll have to first provide the permission 755/var/www/html. Now we have to enable the Apache server now. So to do that, system control restart Apache 2. This will restart the Apache server because we have changed the ownership, right? Now when you go to the edge, so we can access the Apache server default page now. So let me copy the Linux RDP IP address now. Let me copy this IP address and let me open up a new tab and type this IP address. When you paste this IP address, it will open up a default Apache page now. So but we got a error because we have not started the Apache server. So let's see if the Apache server is running or not. So system control status Apache 2. Since the Apache 2 is running, we have made some error. Let me fix that now. So just press Q to exit this. So let me fix what we went wrong. Now we got the Apache server because we have not allowed the firewall to allow the Apache. You consider to enable the Firefox to allow the Apache from outside the world, just type UFW allow Apache. You consider now the rule has been added. So once the rule is added, anyone can access the Apache server from outside the world. So make sure you allow this. And once we allow that, you consider here we have the HTML file. Consider this HTML file is displayed in this Apache here. It displays the default page of the Apache server. So we can replace the contents of this index.html file. So let me go to the ChatGPT and I'm gonna create a new website now. Write the HTML and the inline CSS or a beautiful e-commerce website. So we're gonna post the e-commerce website and access it from the outside the world. And press enter, it will write the HTML and CSS. So we can just replace it now. You consider it starts writing the HTML and CSS for us. Just give you a few minutes. Once it starts finishing, we can replace the default index.html page of the Apache with this content. So let me copy this and let me go to the RDP, that is the VPS. So here you can see here we have the index.html. To see the contents of this nano index.html, press enter. Consider this is the Apache 2 default page now. Either we can delete all the content and replace it, or we can delete this file entirely and we can upload a new file. So I'm gonna delete this file now. So further just type rm index.html. This will delete the index.html file and we're gonna upload a new file from the our Windows now. So now when you type the ls, you consider now we don't have the index.html file anymore. So I'm gonna create a new file in the documents now. So let me create a new file and paste the HTML content that we have copied. So let me click on new button or I'm gonna put this inside the E drive, inside the certificate folder. Let me create a new file now. This file name will be index.txt. So let me open this file now and paste the HTML content that we have copied. Let me save this and let's also change the extension to index.html. Now we got the index.html file in our Windows system, right? We have to somehow transfer this index.html file from our Windows system to the Linux RDP. To do this, we're gonna use a tool called the SCP. Before that, let me show you the website of this e-commerce website that we have created. You consider this the demo of the e-commerce website that we have created, and we are gonna transfer this index.html file from this Windows to this Linux RDP. For that, let me open up the command prompt now. The tool in this video we're gonna use is the SCP, that is the secure file transfer. So SCP, this will be, you consider the SCP is available now. So if you don't have the SCP, make sure you download that. So SCP, here we have to type the location of this index.html. So it is located inside the E drive and the file name is the index.html. And where we wanna put this file on the Linux RDP, we wanna put this file on where/www/html folder, right? But first we have to connect to it. So to connect to it, just type the username now. The username is root underscore and we have to enter the let me go to the Kamatera dashboard and let me copy the IP address. So we have to type the IP address. So let me copy this IP address and let me go to the command prompt and paste it here. So inside this IP address, we have a folder called the where. So www/where, this will be where/www/html. So inside the HTML folder, we're gonna paste the index.html file and press enter. So we get the error like no such file. So I have made a mistake, right? The index.html file is located inside the certificate folder. So I have made a mistake. So the file is located under the certificate folder. So let me type the certificate/index.html. Now press enter. It will upload the file from our Windows system to the Linux RDP. Let me type the Linux RDP password and press enter. You can see that it starts uploading the index.html file. Now the file has been uploaded successful. Now let me go to the Linux RDP. Now when I use the same ls command, here you can see now we got the index.html file. You consider here we have the file. When I use the nano index.html, you consider now the contents has been updated to the content that we have copied from the ChatGPT. Consider shop mod your favorite store. Now what we can do is we can go to the Apache server and when we refresh it, you consider the refresh to our latest content, that is the e-commerce website. So yeah, this is it. This is how you host your website in the Linux RDP and access it from the outside world. And finally, we're gonna see the Kamatera API and we're gonna end this video. So let's see the Kamatera API and I'm gonna end this video here. I think we have covered literally everything from the Kamatera dashboard. You consider. Let me close all of this. So let me log into my Kamatera console. Here you can see this the Kamatera dashboard. Let me go to the console. We have covered the servers. Consider when I go to the server, it will list all the servers that you have created. And below that, we have the create new server option. We have covered this and we have covered the desktop to create the Windows RDP as well as the Linux RDP. And we have the option called the create new app. So feel free to explore all the options of the Kamatera website. I will provide the link of this in the description. When you sign up, you will get a 100% credit. So using that, you can explore all the free options. So inside this create new app, we have basically lots of apps. So you consider you have the cPanel, we have the cloud panel, and we have the cyber panel. So literally we have lots of options here. So if I make videos on all of this, then the video length will be of use. So for the time constraint, I'm gonna skip this. So if you want to explore this, feel free to explore now. Create new service option. So in the new service, we have the Kubernetes. So let me scroll down. Under the service, we have the Elasticsearch and we have the Kubernetes and we have the Ansible, we have the Docker, we have the OpenVPN. So I'm gonna skip it. So make sure you feel free to explore that. I will provide a link of this website in the description. And finally, we're gonna cover the APIs. So just click on APIs and click on keys. Consider we have lots of API keys that I have created earlier. I'm gonna create a new key. Click on create new key. Give a name for your key. So I'm gonna give a name as a description. Here we have the client ID. Let me copy this client ID. Further, I'm gonna open up the editor now. So in this video, I'm gonna use the Sublime text editor. If you want to use the users to report, you can also do that. I'm gonna use the Sublime text editor and I'm gonna create a Python file. Inside the Python file, let me copy and paste the API key that we have copied now. You consider we have a Python file, right? Let me clear all of these. So API key equal to, let me copy and paste the key that we have copied now. Now let's go to the console now. Actually, we have a API secret also. This is a client ID. Let me change the variable name to client ID. And let's also copy and paste the API key now. So API key equal to, let me copy this API secret and this will be our API key. Now when you go to the documentation, let me close this. And when you go to the documentation, here they will provide a detailed explanation of how you can access each service point. Consider below this, we have a documentation on how you can interact with the API keys. First, we have to authenticate it. So just click on this and we have to authenticate. We can use the Python if you want. We have the JavaScript, we have the PowerShell as well, but we're gonna stick with the Python. So let me copy this Python code now. Let me copy this and let me go to the Sublime text editor and I'm gonna paste it below this API keys and paste it here. Here on the payload, we have to change this. We have to change the client ID to our actual ID. So instead of doing it manually, because there is lot of forward slash, I don't want to make any error at the last end of the video. So for simplicity, I'm gonna copy this and let me go to the ChatGPT and I'm gonna ask the ChatGPT to replace. Let me copy these keys and paste it here. Let's also copy this payload and paste it here and change the payload now. So let me copy this and I'm gonna paste it here. So this will use the F string and instead of this client ID, actual key will be replaced. Now let me save this and let's try to run this now. Consider now our client has been authenticated. We have got a new authentication key and the space on sometimes here. So let me go to the dashboard now. Here on the documentation, we have lots of requests now. We have the get requests for the servers. This will is the number of servers. So let me click on the Python code and let me copy this code now. So we just have to change the URL only. All the other ports are the same now. So let me copy this URL and I'm gonna change this URL. So let me change this URL and let's try to run this now. And below this, they have lots of options here. But when I go to the Sublime text editor, we got a error like method not allowed. So since this is a get request, right? So we have to change this post request to get request. So we have lots of options here. This will be for terminate. This is for offset build mode. They have lots of options for the API key. So make sure you feel free to explore the documentation. It will display the latest server that we have created. Consider we have created the accumulation Linux RDP, right? And the power is Turner and the data center is European Union. So yeah, this is it. This is all about the Kamatera cloud solutions. And you can create the free VPS, free Windows RDP as well as the free Linux RDP. And I will provide the link of this website in the description. So make sure you sign up from the link so that you will get the $100 as a credit. And using that $100, you can explore all the features of the Kamatera for 30 days. So this is for this video and I will continue in the next one.